Welcome to Bless Them Boys, a podcast that's doing 4 season preview episodes out of respect. We are one Saints fan and one Cowboys fan, one fan of who dat and one fan of dat win. We're here to give weekly takes, game recaps, bad betting picks, and the occasional Seinfeld reference.
I'm going to give you a high 4 for that. This week we are previewing the East, AFC and NFC East. As such, we have a Patriot/Eagle, and it is none other than running back / tight end / fullback Keith Byars. Keith Byars is a former NFL fullback, running back, tight end, who's known as one of football's most versatile offensive players. Much in the same vein of Larry Sanders, so we've talked about previously. Born October 14th, 1963, so we got a birthday coming up in about 2 months here. In Dayton, Ohio, he was a standout multi-sport athlete before starting at the Ohio State University. During his junior season in 1984, he finished as runner-up for the Heisman Trophy after leading the nation in rushing, scoring, and all-purpose yards. I would have never thought Keith Byars was a runner-up for the Heisman Trophy. Well, now I guess that. His memorable 5-touchdown performance against Illinois, highlighted by a long touchdown run after losing one of his shoes, remains one of the most iconic moments in Buckeye history. Although injuries limited his senior season, he finished with 50 total touchdowns at the Ohio State and was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame in 2020. Selected 10th overall by the Philadelphia Eagles in the 1986 NFL Draft, Byars enjoyed a 13-year NFL career with the Eagles, the Dolphins, and their AFC East brethren, Patriots and Jets. So we almost had a Jose Cortez situation here, but not quite. He didn't play for the Bills, unfortunately. Rare combination of power, athleticism, and receiving ability. He excelled as a pass-catching fullback, recording 610 receptions for 5,661 receiving yards. Hey, so there's another running back that qualifies for the 5,000 career yards category.
Immaculate Grid category.
Immaculate Grid. Also rushing for 3,109 yards and 54 total touchdowns. Earned his one Pro Bowl selection with the Dolphins in 1993 and appeared in one Super Bowl. That was Super Bowl 31 with the Patriots. That, of course, was the one they lost, I believe, to the Packers.
Yeah.
The Packers. That was the Favre. That was the Brett Favre.
Yeah, because 31 would have been the one right after the Cowboys Steelers.
Right. He established one of the longest streaks of consecutive games with a reception during his era. So again, longest streaks of consecutive games with a reception. Following his playing career, Byars transitioned into coaching and broadcasting, serving as a high school coach and later a football analyst and radio host, remaining closely connected to the game that defined his career. So Keith Byars, almost a all-4 AFC East team.
Close.
Fortunately, no Buffalo Bills for him, but nonetheless, we do salute you, Mr. Byars. I'm Paul, the Saints fan.
I'm Brendan, the Cowboys fan.
We're your host, Izzy. Let them know.
Yeah, that's it. It's go time. Let's see you lift that.
Mr. Mandelbaum, please.
It's go time.
This one's for you, Pop. It's go time.
It's go time.
You've been married 3 times.
That's it! It's go time!
It's go time.
All right, buddy. It's go time. I know you're ready to talk about your team. And
that would be future Super Bowl champions based on the fact that based on what happened this weekend. So I think we can go ahead and wrap up the season here.
Yeah, might as well. Yeah. Might as well. But before we get to all that, let's do a little bit of housekeeping first. A little bit, just a little small bit. If you want to contact the show, you can do so. Bless them boys, BLESSDEMBOYZ @gmail.com. You can follow us on X at bless_them_boys. I'm at Paul Elliott _316. Brandon is at Ball from Grace. No more Blue Sky. Sorry, Blue Sky. We're no longer affiliated with you.
They blew it.
They blew it. You blew it, boy. You really blew it. If you are checking us out here on YouTube Live, thanks. Hope you're enjoying the show. Go ahead and hit that subscribe, that like button while you're here. You can also check us out on YouTube after our shows. We post them all there. We also post to Spotify and Apple. Please leave a rating and review. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell the bots.
Tell the bots.
I think we got another bot. I think we got another bot follower this week.
Ooh, we did.
On Twitter.
That's exciting.
I forget the young lady's name, or supposed young lady's name. But whatever, bots are people too. So do we no more YouTube subscribers?
I haven't been on YouTube. I would have to
check.
Let me see if I can check real quick.
So I do have to share this quick story before we get into our next segment. So my kids started school this week. We talked about this last week. My oldest daughter started 7th grade, and she came home after the first day and said, "Hey, Dad, my math teacher was introducing himself to the class and said one of the things he likes to do is listen to a sports podcast, and I told him that you hosted a podcast, but I didn't know all your information, so I wrote it down for her. So we may have a new listener.
All right.
I don't know. So if you're my daughter's math teacher, I apologize. I don't remember your name off the top of my head, but hopefully
this is going really well so far.
It's going really well. Yeah.
You gonna open with? You're not gonna open with that.
That's great. I forgot to tell you, he did mention that he hated Seinfeld. I think.
Oh no. Well, that's a problem.
Oh.
Well, he's not gonna like our content.
No, he's not. Well, we will get into. So we do have some previews. We're going to preview the East here in a minute. The beasts of the East, as it were, or maybe not so much. Depends on who we're talking about.
I think there's 2 beasts and 2 leasts.
Yeah, well, we'll see. In both divisions, yeah. I think is the case. So we'll do that. But first, we here at Bless Them Boys do pride ourselves on being able to discuss other things.
But enough about fish. I can discuss other things, you know.
All right, Brandon. So, what you get up to over the week here?
So we were in Austin for a friend's birthday party this weekend. So that was most of our weekend. It was Saturday night. I don't know why they were scheduled. Why they think their birthday for some reason takes precedence over a preseason game.
I was going to say, at least this preseason and not like, Texas Ohio State night or something like,
True. So we did that on Saturday. I watched some of the Coppa Italia, which is the Italian version of it's one of the international or the national cup for Italy. So I watched Venezia and Modena. The team was Modena was abbreviated as MOD, and my child asked me, "Are you cheering for Mod Pizza?" And I said, nice. I'm not cheering for Mod Pizza.
Are they sponsored by Mod Pizza?
I don't think so, unfortunately.
Highly doubt it.
I don't think Mod Pizza is really kosher over there, as they would say. So that was actually a good game because Modena was up. So it was 1-0. Venezia tied it up, and then Modena went back up 2-1, and then within like 10 minutes, it was like in the 80s in terms of the minutes. Venezia scored twice, like really, really quickly to go up 3-2, and ended up winning it 3-2. Venezia actually has an American player on there, Gianluca Busio, who is half Italian, half American. I think his dad is Italian, so he plays over there. That was a really good game. So I watched that. I didn't watch any TV or movies this week, but I did check out a couple of new releases. You Say I Romanticize by Sweeping Promises, which is like a kind of punk rock sort of music. Was pretty good. And then the other album I listened to, which I got about halfway through today, was the Womack Sisters, with the their debut album called the Womack Sisters.
Where do they sound? What does that sound familiar? Am I thinking of? Is there another singer?
There's another Womack. Leanne Womack. It's not
okay.
So they're not related to Leanne Womack, but they are related to Sam Cooke.
Oh, okay.
Not the Panthers punter.
No,
but
well, I thought you were going to say not the R&B singer, but the Panthers punter.
Panthers punter. Yeah, but so they are his granddaughters. And so the whole album basically has a real like Motown feel to it. Very like 60s kind of pop. They're very good, like great vocals. Music is like very old school. So listen to that. But that was I think that's it. Other than I watched some preseason football, which we'll get to later, but that was basically it for me.
All righty then. So I'll try to keep my mine short here.
Let me add one more thing. Today I did an old guy thing and almost threw out my back trying to stretch. So there's that. I got my 40th birthday coming up. I got to get to work on memorizing the Mike Gundy speech for our episode after my birthday.
You will be a man.
I will be a man. Finally.
All right. So I'll keep mine short. I'll get to the Denzel challenge in a moment.
We should also Denzel adjacent, obviously.
Yeah, obviously
brutal.
Yeah, heartbreaking loss, brutal loss. Lovely actress Hayden Panettiere, age 36, going far too soon.
It seemed like she had gotten her act together, and it seemed like, from what I've heard, the reports are, it seemed like she had a relapse. And
well, I was trying to think. So obviously, I know her from Remember the Titans. We talked about that a couple weeks ago when I watched her for the Denzel challenge. I remember her from Heroes, Save the Cheerleader, Save the World.
You didn't watch Nashville though, did you? Did you ever watch any of that? Because that was a pretty good show.
No, I heard, but the thing the most recent thing I remembered her from is she was in the newer Scream movies, like Scream 4. I think she was in 5 also. So, and she was quite good in those. It's just I was going to bed Sunday night, and I'm in a movie like Discord channel, and someone replied saying, "Oh, this is really sad," but I didn't see what they were on the notification. I couldn't see what they were replying to, so I opened the app, and right there it was Hayden Panettiere dead at the age of 36.
I got the alert from my Uncle Gary. Sent it to our group chat where we count celebrity deaths. We added another one today. ZZ Top, the drummer for ZZ Top, also passed away today.
I saw that as well. I saw that as well. So our sympathy, our condolences there. I actually am gonna. So this is not a death, but there's a kind of a sad connection to my Denzel film for last week that I'll talk about here. But before I get to that, I did want to mention 2026 release that I caught up on. Ready or Not 2.
Ready or Not to what?
Ready or Not 2, Here We Come. Stars. I think I talked about Ready or Not on the show. I forget when I watched the original. I thought it was this year. It could have been late last year. So basically, Ready or Not, the original, the first movie, is about a woman played by Samara Weaving who marries into a family, and at her wedding, her husband pulls her aside and says, "Hey, you got to play this game where you pull a card, and then whatever card you pull, that's the game we play." The card she pulls is hide and seek, and they're playing hide and seek. Although, let's just say it's to the death. So she basically is being hunted by her in-laws and has to like, yeah, it's wild.
How do they
It's a
have
scene.
in-laws if this is how the marriage night works?
Well, so I don't want to spoil the first movie, but let's just say she survives. She gets past that, but
Okay.
then the second movie picks up right, like literally from the last scene of the first movie. They pick up. She gets brought to a hospital because she's been injured. Her sister, who is played by Catherine Newton, you would folks might know Catherine Newton as Ant-Man's daughter from the Ant-Man movies. If you've seen those movies,
Yes.
that's what
The
I
Ant-Man
know.
movies.
That's what I know her. That's what I know her from. Anyway, she was in Endgame, technically, like for a brief period of time. But what was I saying? So she shows up to the hospital, and you find out that they're kind of uh, estranged. They haven't really seen each other a lot, but she was her emergency contact. And then, as they're leaving the hospital, you find out that there's another level to this game. Basically, like there's another layer to what's going on, and so they basically end up back in another game of hide and seek, but now with like 4 different families. Again, I don't want to give too much away. I think people should watch these movies. They're kind of entertaining. I mean, they're if you like. Now they are gory. There's a lot of blood, but it's played more for like laughs. I find a lot of it.
Okay.
So actually, there's a connection to Lost. I know you've been watching Lost. In the second movie, one of the families, one of the heads of the family, is Nestor Carnival, who is
Not Nestor,
forget his
not
character's
Nestor
name.
Cortez.
No, he's in Lost. He's the guy. You may not have gotten. I don't think he's in season 1. He might be in. He plays a bigger role down the stretch of the show.
Nestor what?
Hang on.
Carbonell.
Let me find it here. Carbon. No, yep, that's it.
Oh, this guy was he in The Dark Knight?
Oh yes, he's the mayor. Yeah, he's the mayor.
Yeah, that's
of
where
Gotham.
right. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
that's,
that-
where
that's-
you, that's where you should have
Yeah,
gone.
of course. I'm sorry. My apologies.
It looks like he has
like he's in all
eyeliner on
three.
in that movie.
Yeah, he's quite funny in the second Ready or Not. But yeah, so I'll just give a shout out to those movies. So the Denzel challenge. So let me backtrack for a second because I talked a little bit about the Week 33 challenge, but I had watched the film when we recorded last week, so I watched it now. For Week 33, the subject was the number 3. I chose The Siege, it's a 1998 film, because on the movie poster there are 3 characters. One is Denzel, one is Annette Bening, the other is Bruce Willis. And this is what I was kind of alluding to earlier. I don't know if you saw this, but Bruce Willis recently was at his daughter's wedding, and Bruce Willis has gone through a lot of medical issues over the last few years. He's not, he doesn't go out publicly a lot. I forget what condition he has. I want to say it's like some sort of dementia. So it's, he's not in the best way. So I found it was kind of ironic that this week I watched a movie with Denzel and Bruce Willis. So I just wanted to point that out. But the movie, now this movie, I had heard of this movie, but I hadn't seen it. So this movie comes out in 98. The plot of this movie is basically a terroristic group does a series of attacks in New York City where Denzel is based because he's like part of the FBI anti-terrorism task force. And these attacks become so frequent that they have to declare martial law. Bruce Willis is the army general who basically is enforcing martial law on these people. And Annette Bening is kind of a shadowy character. We don't really know. Like, she says she's on their side, but like you kind of for a while it's like whose side is she really on? But the fact that this movie comes out in 98 and it's about the subject matter it's about, and like 9/11's 3 years, Like it was kind of eerie to watch.
Mm.
I'm gonna be honest, like because a lot of the subject matter is because the terrorist attack. So the movie begins with there's an attack on a American school overseas, like an American embassy overseas, and then as part of as a reaction to that, American armed forces take this sheik who they think is responsible. They capture him. So now these terrorist groups are like, we want this guy released, so we're gonna perpetuate these atrocities. Well, of course, well, I shouldn't say of course, but what eventually happens is once martial law is declared, the army starts rounding up folks of a certain nationality and putting them in these camps, and it's heavy stuff, man. Like it gets to a somewhat uncomfortable place, I'll say. Not to say it's not a bad movie. I don't want to. It's quite a good film. Denzel's quite good in it. Tony Shalhoub is also in the movie. If you know Tony Shalhoub from Monk, among other.
And the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Yes. Speaking of that, I watched what movie did I watch? Oh, have you heard of the movie Adventureland?
Adventureland?
Adventureland.
Yes.
With Jesse Eisenberg and Kristen Stewart.
Yes.
So, the beginning of the movie, Jesse Eisenberg has this friend that they're planning to go to grad school in New York together, and his friend is played by the guy who is Mrs. Maisel's husband in the Marvelous Mrs. who would later become Mr. Maisel, I guess, in that show. So, anyway, so sorry, when you said Marvelous Mrs. I was like, oh yeah, I watch this. Adventureland is quite good too. I'll throw that out there if you haven't seen it. But yeah, The Siege. It's it's not the best movie I've seen in this challenge by far, at all. But I would recommend it if you get a second. It is available on Fandango at home for free. There are ads, and I will just put this out there. I appreciate streaming services that provide free movies with ads, but Fandango's like interface not
very good.
So like Tubi, just as a point of comparison, Tubi, when they're about to go to a break, a little thing comes on the screen that says ad break in 5, 4, 3, whatever. Not Fandango. Fandango's just like we're just going to break. Right.
Commercial.
And then they like go to break with like 6 minutes left in the movie. It's like what are we doing? Like just
well, they know they got you.
Well, the credits are about to roll. Let's go to commercial. No, but so I'll just mention that Fandango. I do think it is a fine service for renting and buying like stream movies. Just that the free thing, it just rubs me the wrong way sometimes. But I'm probably a little I'm biased to Tubi. But anyway, okay. So for this week, we're on week 34, believe it or not, of the challenge, and this is one of those, buddy, where I kind of when the teaser for the challenge came out on Twitter, one of the movies that they listed, so they list 4 movies, and like, can you figure out the connection? One of the movies they listed was one of my favorites, Memento. So I'm thinking, okay, this makes me think it's kind of like like a detective whodunit type category. Maybe I could watch Deja Vu, which is one of my favorite Denzel movies. And sure enough, that was the category. It was mystery person. It's technically the category. But within that, they said you can watch any kind of whodunit, any kind of, if the movie features a mysterious person that comes into the main character.
Or what about unreliable narrator? Does that qualify as a...
Yeah, that would probably, yeah. I think it would, because that's what Memento is. It's an unreliable narrator. But yeah, so haven't gotten to rewatch Deja Vu yet, but that will be what I watch for this movie. I unapologetically love this movie. I think we've talked about it on the show before. It's Tony Scott, Denzel Washington. It's based in New Orleans. It's one of the first films they did in New Orleans after Katrina. Also has Val Kilmer, the late great Val Kilmer's in this movie.
Jim Caviezel, Jesus, Jesus.
Jim Caviezel. Let me tell you, he's not playing.
Elle Fanning.
Is that? Yeah, I forgot Elle.
Abby.
Because Dakota Fanning was with Denzel in Man on Fire, and then later in Equalizer 3. But yeah, I forgot Elle Fanning was in this movie. So yeah, I'm looking forward to. I'm going to set some time aside to watch Deja Vu at some point this week.
It has time travel in it?
Oh yeah. Have you not seen this movie?
Nope. Paul, the answer is usually no.
Okay, fair enough. Buddy, I would hang on. I'm gonna figure out because I looked up where it's streaming earlier for my knowledge, but I'm gonna tell you so maybe you can check it out.
Doesn't look like it's anywhere for free.
Oh yeah, I guess not. Okay.
Wait, is Disney Plus?
Yeah, but it looks like it's only Disney Plus in other countries, not at least based on what I'm seeing on Letterboxd.
That's bogus.
But if you get a chance, I would highly recommend it. It's actually celebrating its 20th anniversary this year. It was a 2006 movie, so which makes sense because, like I said, it was one of the first post-Katrina movies to be shot in New Orleans. The opening scene is on the Mississippi on like a ferry boat sailing out of New Orleans. Like it's a wonderful movie. And again, like I said, some of the science is kind of wonky and all this stuff. I don't care. Like it's Denzel, it's Tony Scott. It's a fantastic.
Have you alerted the Cinechums people to that you're doing this challenge?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because I'm actually on it. They have a Discord for this challenge, and actually this week, because there's a couple movies that could qualify, or at least I thought could qualify. This obviously was one of them. Another one was this movie he did called Ricochet. It's like early '90s with John Lithgow, where kind of I don't know if he's a serial killer, but he plays a bad guy that Denzel, who's a cop, put away once upon a time. Lithgow gets out of prison, and then it's kind of like Cape Fear. Like he ends up making life miserable for Denzel. The other one was The Little Things, which is a more recent movie where Denzel's a cop. His partner is Rami Malek of Mr. Robot fame, and they are looking for a serial killer who they believe to be by everybody's favorite Jared Leto, and it's kind of a weird movie. I watched it once, but like I said, I will happily watch Deja Vu for this challenge. So excited about that. So I will watch that and report back. And then we're on to week 35, buddy. We only got 18 weeks left. We're round the bases here.
I remember at the beginning you were just trying to get halfway through.
Just trying. Yeah, we're. But yeah, to answer your question. Sorry, Cinechums are aware because what I do is I quote tweet them every week once I complete it. So they actually have this API set up with Twitter. So like when you go on their website and you log the movie for the week, it sends out a tweet automatically that says, so-and-so watched this movie for this challenge. And then I take that tweet and I retweet it back to them to say, and then I just put like a description of Denzel challenge week, whatever. Here's why I picked the movie. Yeah, because I don't know if you remember, sorry, I'm rambling on about this, but a few weeks back, the category was the Beatles. And I was kind of struggling trying to find one. And then I found this interview with Julia Roberts, who said working with Denzel was like working with the Beatles. And so that's what I tweeted them.
Oh yeah, that was.
I said, would this qualify the Pelican Brief?
That's your,
As-
that
they're
was
like,
like your thinnest
That's
closest call so far.
yeah. That was pretty thin. The other one was probably Fallen because that week it was, which actually Fallen would have qualified for the Beatles week because there's a Beatles song titled Fallen, apparently. But anyway, Fallen was the category was like song and dance or something like that, and there's literally like a 30-second moment in the movie where this serial killer who's being brought to the electric chair like does a little dance on his way to the. And it's like, but that was the best I could. I actually need to revisit Fallen. It was on Netflix for a while, but I didn't get a chance to visit. Okay, so let me see if there's anything else. Oh, so I did watch. I could not watch any Liverpool. They had the almost like a split squad type friendly with Como, and apparently things, but it wasn't streaming anywhere. I couldn't find it. So, but apparently went well. A couple of the new acquisition or a couple of new players stepped up for them, and I think they kind of played most of who they're going to have on their starting 11 this Sunday, and they kick off against Newcastle.
Yeah, I will
Friday's
be,
the kickoff of Premier League.
our work is having a Saturday like watch event downtown, so we're gonna head out there for the kickoff of the Everton season. So
Very cool.
yeah,
Very
so
cool.
looking forward to that.
Yep. So, but I did watch a little bit of the championship because that kicked off this past weekend. Watched a little bit of Southampton, who ended up losing to. I can't remember who they lost to, but excuse me. And then I planned on watching West Ham United, but some other things came up and I didn't get a chance. So, but they ended up tying with Burnley. Yeah. So
Let's see. JJ Watt partially on team, right? Isn't JJ Watt an investor in Burnley?
oh, maybe it is. I don't know.
I think he designed
Southampton.
one of their kits.
Southampton lost to Watford. 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 No. So yeah. And I'm looking to see here who we got. Southampton's playing Stoke this week.
Mhm.
West Ham is playing Charlton. And I gotta say,
Well
man, Paramount Plus comes in clutch for this because you can watch these games on. Liverpool plays Newcastle, as I mentioned. That game I think is on USA Sunday morning.
Well, the Leicester City plays a director from a movie director, and they played Tim Burton on Saturday.
Oh, nice. Is Leicester City? Are they in the championship or are they in the?
No, they're in League One.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Well,
Yeah. Apparently, the team is for sale now. By the way,
Leicester say, "Hey, let's put a bid in. Let's get some money.
200 million. So I mean, may need to turn over the couch cushions a few
We'll turn
times.
it around. We'll be like it'll be like Wrexham, right?
There we go.
Which I texted you this over. I totally didn't realize Wrexham was not in the Premier League until I was looking up a schedule, and it's like Wrexham was playing on Monday in the championship, and I'm like, oh, I thought they were in the Premier League. Okay, well,
Not quite.
So-
Still got one more
Now-
level to jump.
I also learned that apparently the opening game or the opening match of the season is the Premier League winner from last year, which in this case is Arsenal for this year or last year,
Mm-hmm.
against the championship winner from the previous year, which is Coventry this year. So that they will kick off on Friday, I believe, Friday afternoon.
Correct.
So
And the Arsenal has
Exciting
already
stuff.
won. Arsenal has already won the Community Shield, which is I think it's
okay, yeah, I did watch. I watched a little bit of that. Yeah, Man City, right?
Yeah, because it was I don't know if it's like the first and second place teams. I don't remember how the teams are determined. Who plays in the Community Shield?
Oh, see, I didn't realize that either. I thought it was just those.
Previous season's Premier League champions and the holder of the FA Cup. If the same team wins both trophies, the reigning league champions play against the Premier League runners-up.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Yeah, and Arsenal, I believe, is there's a lot of talk that they're going to repeat as Premier League champions.
I think what
They're a favorite.
and part of it is that like some of the other teams are like Liverpool, Manchester City are both kind of in flux. Chelsea is kind of a mess, and so like they're kind of just like set just because of the rest of the league is kind of not really in a position to kind of challenge.
I know Liverpool had a couple of transfers come in. Barcola, I think I talked about that last week. And then there was another one that I heard about the other day that the guy who runs the All Red YouTube channel, he was really excited about, but I can't remember the player's name off the top of my head. I did listen to his video on All Red. Apparently, my cousin Harvey Elliott probably not going to be with Liverpool. They're probably going to sell his contract to a different unit. So that's disappointing, but yeah, can't win them all. So yeah, European football, something to be excited about. So this week, and then I guess we could use this to transition into the preseason a little bit for preseason NFL football. So I didn't realize the Saints were playing on Saturday until like Saturday morning. Like I was literally watching probably the Southampton game, and I just saw my phone, or probably on Twitter, and somebody was like, "Yeah, Saints football today." I'm like, "Wait, what? I thought we played tomorrow." So I didn't watch a good portion of the Jaguars Saints game from New Orleans. My just overall thoughts. I'll talk about Jordan Tyson here in a minute, but before that notwithstanding,
we should replay the conversation that we had when I sent you the injury and you said, "I heard it's not that bad," and then I said, "A guy with hamstring, injury has another." Hamstring.
I'm just telling you what look. I'm not there. I don't know. Like, but yeah, no. Imagine that the guy with an injury history got in.
The guy with a hamstring problem has another hamstring problem.
I'm telling you, man. I was like, and it was like, and I don't want to be one of those fans. It's like, told you so, shouldn't have. But you remember on draft night, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't want to misrepresent myself. I believe I said something like, "Yeah, listen, I'm a little nervous about that."
He's a very fun player when he's healthy. Which I think is the story of another Saints receiver.
Well, and the other thing, so a couple Saints fans were like, "Well, you should have just drafted Mekhi Lemon." Well, Mekhi Lemon's injured now too with the Eagles. Like, I don't think he's so.
That's a shame.
But we also passed on Caleb Downs, who's with you guys. Ruben Bain, who's apparently a monster for Tampa Bay right now. I mean,
there were other options on the board.
I personally, and I told this to the 32 Fans guys when I was on their show. I wanted Carnell Tate. If you're going to draft receiver, I wanted Carnell Tate. Now, obviously, Tennessee beat everybody to the punch there. Can't do anything about that. But I mean, the Saints have traded up for less in the past. So I mean, like,
yes, they have.
Speaking of which, shout out to Marcus Davenport, the newest Chicago Bear.
Congrats, okay. Andy.
Sorry, I'm going to go
save the season.
On a quick tangent. I'm going to go off on a quick tangent. You know how PFF has gotten a lot of flack over the last few years about their metrics, and players have come out. I think J.J. Watt was one of the players that came out. I was like, "Yeah, PFF's a bunch of crap," and, basically. I was on PFF's side until They released a series of they went for each team and listed like an all 22 for the 21st century, basically. So like from like I think it was I forget from what year they started, but it was early 2000s to like last year. So for the Saints, quarterback was Drew Brees, obviously. You had Colston at receiver. You had, Kamara at running back. The usual.
Michael Thomas
at receiver, yeah.
Jeremy
Then we get to
Shockey.
No. A guy named Jimmy Graham. He was pretty good.
Yeah, but Jeremy Shockey had that America tattoo.
No,
So
he did. That's true. I will say, listen, all kidding aside, we needed Jeremy Shockey on that Super Bowl team. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, because he was the kind of crazy. Like, you kind of need a little crazy on your team at times. He was that kind of crazy. But we get to the defense, and there were two defensive ends listed. So the first defensive end you could probably guess was Cameron Jordan, as it should be, right? Because Cam Jordan's one of the great Saints of all time. Do you want to know who the other defensive end PFF put on the all 22 Saints since 2005, 2006? I shit you not. Sorry,
Marcus Davenport. Marcus Davenport.
It was Marcus Davenport.
Well, he was a first round pick,
What games you watching? Now listen. Two ways you can look at this. PFF's on crack. Second way you can look at it is
how bad is
how bad defensive end's been for the Saints over the last. Yeah.
Let me go look up Marcus.
And honestly, after I thought about it, I was like, well, I mean, listen, he may not be as bad as I'm making him out to be, but buddy, he ain't that good. Like,
he almost had 10 sacks one year.
I would put Chase Young just for last season. Almost. Okay, well.
Yeah. 25 total sacks.
Right,
Still got a ways to go before he qualifies
went off on a
for
tangent there.
Before he qualifies for the that threshold for
So anyway, sorry, I went off on a tangent there.
How about Spencer? How'd you feel about Spencer Rattler?
So going to the game against Jacksonville. So the game started out great. Ty Chandler, Vikings legend, returns the opening kickoff like 80 yards, almost gets a touchdown. First play from scrimmage, handoff to Audric Estime, scores a touchdown. Beautiful. This is great. Jacksonville gets the ball.
It's great. We're great.
Defense kind of a little bend, don't break to the defense. And then Longhorn legend, Jalen Ford, plays. I mean, beautiful soft coverage. Just quarterback just did not see him. Just right in the right spot he needed to be in. Interception in the red zone. Beautiful. Saints stall out, punt. Jacksonville stalls out, punt. And then Rattler has just a boneheaded strip fumble, like just dumb.
That was the play I saw. Like I saw that one live.
Yeah, just dumb, just about as dumb as you can be. And he kind of rallied after that. He had a decent drive after that. Estime looked really good, and then got injured, of course, because that's the way things are going right now.
Shall I put a substation in the
right.
in the Superdome?
I forgot to tell you. Yeah, I forgot to tell you that they were building that. So not ideal. Ty Chandler comes in, plays a little bit of running back. So Rattler finishes uninspiring, I'll say. Uninspiring performance. Then, hide the moms, Zach Wilson comes in.
That's right. I forget about that.
Zach Wilson comes in, buddy, and let me tell you, my guy Zach Wilson was slinging it. Like, he just... Like,
must have seen a lot of moms in the stands. He was trying to impress.
I'm telling you, buddy, I think he finished like 11 for 15 with and I mean, listen, I don't know if any Jets fans were watching the game, but they probably were like throwing something at the TV. Like,
Well,
this,
didn't he
you couldn't
look?
do that.
Didn't he look good in preseason with the Jets too?
Probably.
I think
Probably,
I
yeah.
feel like that happened, and I was like, oh, maybe he's actually not bad. And then the real games started.
I mean, the big takeaway from the quarterbacks after the game is possibly Zach Wilson now QB2. Like, that was a legitimate conversation.
That would be a pretty
after
big
this game.
That would be a pretty bad crash out for Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, which apparently Rattler, all the reports out of camp prior to the game were like Rattler was lights out, like just playing exceptionally well. And then he goes in the game and like poops the bed. So I don't know. Like it happens. I mean, you have a bad game. But yeah, and then offensively, okay, so we talked about Tyson with that injury and all that stuff. Olave didn't play for a good reason. But some of the young receivers, and one silver lining to the Tyson thing, the Saints drafted not one, not two, but 3 receivers this year. So Barry and Brown has looked very good in camp, had a really good game against Jacksonville. Your guy, Trey Lance's younger brother, Bryce Lance, played pretty well.
North Dakota State product.
North Dakota State product. The tight ends left a lot to be desired. Juwan Johnson did not play. Oscar Delp, who I was really excited about.
The tight ends were a little loose.
They were a little loose. Oscar Delp from Georgia, I was really excited about. Did not impress me at all. Like, his hands were just not. He did have a touchdown, but like
ping pong paddles for hands.
Even the touchdown. So the touchdown was like a screen pass on the goal line, and he caught it fine, but then he like tried to extend the ball over the goal line, and he got it, but he dropped it. Like it was like literally like a split second. If he had dropped it like a split second sooner, it would have been touchback or a fumble. Whatever. Yeah. So, so a little bit of work needed on that. But again, Juwan Johnson and Noah Fant, who didn't play, those are 1 and 2 tight ends. So, and Noah Fant apparently had a good practice today against the Cowboys. So, for what that's worth. Defensively, I mentioned Jalen Ford.
Speaking of tight ends having a good day, I saw Luke Schoonamaker had
did he?
today.
How about that?
Yeah. Congrats to him. He seems like he's on his way. He's way ahead.
Oh, is he really?
It's been pretty rough.
I mentioned your guy Jalen Ford defensively. The Saints might have an exciting white at cornerback. I mentioned this last week. Jaden Price, believe from North Dakota State as well, has been playing a lot in that star.
That's all they got up there.
He's been the backup, what they call the star role. So like that kind of floating safety. Jonas Sanker's been the presumptive starter.
Caleb Downs also is like kind of a star player where he plays you play kind of slot, but you'll also play safety, and you just kind of like move around a lot.
You're kind of that Swiss Army knife of the defense.
Right.
It was the role that Alante Taylor had previously, but he's now in Tennessee. So Jonas Sanker's looked pretty good in that role, but Jaden Price made this team. He was on the practice squad last year.
So you think the price is right?
Price could be right. Also had a good performance from
the price is white.
Price is white at this point. Also from Martin Emerson, who I talked about, I think, as kind of a
Ralph Waldo's cousin.
Right, of course. Kind of the Saints kind of took a chance on him because he was coming off pretty bad injury. Almost like the Chase Young thing to a lesser degree of like
a buy low sort of buy low.
Buy low, and then but he played pretty well against Jacksonville. He's kind of fighting for that cornerback 3 because you got Quincy Riley and Kool-Aid McKinstry are your 2 starters on the outside. But might have some depth there. The depth at cornerback actually might be not as bad as I was thinking going into the season.
So you don't need to sign the guy with 8 felonies.
Well, yeah. Shout out to our friend Trang, whose favorite team is about to sign a convict. Well, maybe no, he's not a convict. yet.
Alleged convict.
Alleged.
We don't need any legal troubles on this show.
Stop the show. Yeah, we don't want any. Yeah, we got enough troubles as it is. We don't need legal troubles. Yeah. So, and then defensive line, Christian Miller, our second round pick out of Georgia, I believe was the highest rated PFF defensive tackle, or one of the higher rated ones for preseason week 1, which I just kind of crapped on PFF, but for what it's worth,
he'll be as good as Marcus Davenport for you.
Yeah, God, we can only hope. Now, unfortunately, Christian Miller had a shoulder injury in the game, but he did make the travel with the team to California. So he is in California with the team. I don't think he practiced today against the Cowboys, but he's there at least. Jordan Tyson is not. So take that for what you will. From a special teams perspective, our new punter looks decent at least. His first punt was like 45-yarder, which doesn't sound like much, but like the Saints only had like 6 45-yard punts last year or something like that. So, and then nobody wants to win the kicker battle at this point. Charlie Smith and Tanner Brown are our two kickers, and neither one of them are like in a big hurry to win the job. So
Justin Tucker's still out there.
We had the Saints had was it Shipley? Was the UT kicker?
Yeah.
We had him in camp, but then they cut him, so couldn't make the donuts. I guess.
Oh, he couldn't make the donuts. He was putting up donuts. That was the problem.
He was putting up donuts. Yeah, that's the problem. But yeah, so I mean, overall, obviously preseason games, you kind of, I mean, they did blow a 20-7 lead, or 20 to. They had a pretty big lead on the Jags, and the Jags came back, which I don't.
You don't really care about results as much as you want to look at individual performances and kind of that sort of thing.
Yeah, you kind of look for offensive line looked okay. I know Turicelli Simpkins was playing at center a lot. He was with the team last year. He's an undrafted free agent and showed some signs, but he had kind of a rough day on Saturday. And then Jeremiah Wright from Auburn, who people I think are kind of hoping wins the right guard spot from Cesar Ruiz, because
you hope that he's the right guard.
He's hoping he's the right guard. I need to like go through your sound clips and make some adjustments, I think. But that's a later date. So overall, I mean, none of the starters played. Shuck apparently looked pretty good against Cowboys today.
He did throw a couple of interceptions, I think.
Although the Saints did intercept Dak a few times, I believe. To be fair,
I saw one. And then I saw George Pickens make an insane catch too.
Yeah, he sunned somebody. Yeah, I think.
I mean, that's just George Pickens is going to do that to pretty much everybody.
Yeah. I think Julian Blackmon, who did not play in the preseason game, he's the safety that the Saints signed. Again, kind of a buy low deal last year. Got hurt before the season, didn't play at all. They brought him back on another 1 year prove it kind of deal. And he's looked pretty good in camp. So him and Justin Reed are most likely going to be our starting safeties, with Sanker as the star role. And then Kool-Aid and
Sanker. I hardly know her.
Kool-Aid and Quincy Riley are on the outside. So, well, we'll see, buddy. Well, I mean, it's a long way to go. Obviously, Brian Brzee out for the season, defensive tackle. I do know from a receiver. I'll tell you how bad it is at receiver right now.
I saw. Was it Chase Claypool? Yep. Buddy, how desperate you got to be to pull that card out?
Well, unfortunately, Keenan Allen already signed with the Colts, so we couldn't.
Oh yeah, that would have been much better.
I mean, I don't know, and then apparently Kamara
running down routes, running a slant with a walker in front of him.
And apparently Kamara got banged up.
I saw that. I did
practice
see that
today as
too.
well.
I will not be drafting him in fantasy this year. I want you to know that. So,
Well, buddy, I would have told you not to do that anyway. Like, what? Like,
oh, you ready to get
But,
to the?
yeah.
You ready to get to this Cowboys game? The Super Bowl. Future
yeah,
Super
sorry,
Bowl champion?
I'll let you take it away on the Cowboys Seahawks debacle.
So-
from a Seattle perspective.
From one perspective. From our perspective, just confirms that we're ready to go to the Super Bowl. I will say, so the defense, I told you, the Athletic Football Show said it looks like a grown-up operation. They looked competent, tackled well.
That's
last
good.
year, last year in the first preseason game, they missed 19 tackles, and then this week they had like a couple. So I would say that's a pretty good improvement. So I'll take that. So tackling was solid. The coverages were run pretty well. The defensive line held up at the point of attack in the run game. The first drive, they should have been 3 and out, but there was a really bogus pass interference call. So Seattle was able to keep the chains moving. They had a couple of penalties help them to their first touchdown. But after that, the defense settled in and didn't allow any points. The Cowboys had a muffed punt inside the 10. Seattle got the ball, went 4 and out. So Dallas got the ball back on downs. There were a couple of opportunities where kind of the Seattle offense had opportunities. They had a drop pass and then another play where one of the cornerbacks, it was like in the fourth quarter. So one of the like down roster guys bid on a double move. But the quarterback overthrew the ball. So opportunity for a big play given up, but Seattle couldn't make him pay. Offensively, I think we might be looking at Malik Davis still as running back too right now. Jaden Blue just did not. You know how some running backs, they get to the league and they just want to go, and they're not patient enough to wait for the blocks. It seemed like Jaden Blue still has that. And so there was a screenplay where he basically just like ran into his offensive lineman going down the field.
That's not ideal.
So the vision was not great. Maffa didn't do much, and then Malik Davis came in the third quarter and then basically like averaged 6 yards a carry. And so it's like, okay, maybe it's time to give this guy a little more run and just like make him the number 2 running back. Camden Brown had quite the night. He's 2 touchdown passes, one where he basically the ball was a little underthrown and he like came back and like got the ball in front of the defender, and then a one-handed catch on a Joe Milton fade, basically. Starting to think that you basically just say he's got an injury and you kind of try to stash him on the roster. I think they're trying to. I think they're also trying to see what he can do on special teams so that he can. If he's like the 5th or 6th wide receiver, you're also getting special teams contributions out of him. But he's had a really good camp, and it seems like Dak really likes him as well. So hard to imagine that he's going to be going anywhere. So the Cowboys managed to find another undrafted free agent wide receiver, which they've been pretty good at. You see Ryan Flournoy, who's had a good camp, seems to have locked into the wide receiver 3 role. I actually thought Jonathan Mingo had a good game. He made a couple of really tough contested catches on like slant routes, especially. Just was really physical at the catch point, just attacked the ball with his hands and did a good job there. I think it may be a numbers game for him, so he may end up just an odd man out based on kind of roster constrictions. But I thought he actually like played really well. And Sam Howell got the start. He played the first half, and then Joe Milton came in the second half. But I think this is actually the best Joe Milton performance I've seen. Because you see a lot of times it's very up and down, and so it's like high ceiling, low floor. So he'll hit this like insane laser 30 yards down the field, and then he'll have an out route where he sails it like 20 yards over the receiver's head. He was consistent. He hit a couple of like really good crossing routes. Just was like didn't make any big mistakes. Had like minor misses, but was more accurate with the ball, and so pretty consistent. wasn't just like seeing guys running open and not throwing the ball. So he's more decisive. So I thought that was good. In terms of the rookies, I talked about Camden Brown, but Caleb Downs played about 7 snaps, and then they were like, all right, you're done. Malachi Lawrence played maybe like 15 snaps. He had some good and some bad, but overall, like what we saw, was a little disappointed. Jayshon Barham out of Michigan didn't get to play. He was a little nicked up, and so didn't play in that one. So I was kind of looking forward to him, but there was another. I think Julius Woods was another young guy, plays safety, who I think has a chance to maybe make the roster as a safety, or maybe like make it to the practice squad. Overall, just like, a solid performance. And I think there's things to clean up, but the main thing that I was watching was the defense, because you feel pretty good about how the offense is going to perform once the season starts. But you wanted to see the running backs, but I was kind of excited that the Cowboys were on defense first, and so kind of just like locked in to watch them more, just to kind of get a feel for what they were doing. It seemed like they were using a lot of like 5-man fronts a lot of times too, especially early on, where they would have like three guys down, and then like you had a defensive end standing, and then the Maris Leofau would play on the other edge. So you had he's like a linebacker, but they're trying to play him at edge and trying to like see if he works as a pass rusher. He's not.
Okay.
It's not working. But it seemed like they were playing like with some 5-man fronts as well, instead of just like straight up 4-down linemen a lot of times. So that was interesting as well. But the coverages seemed like there was a lot of communication going on. So it seems like Christian Parker's kind of got the guys talking, being able to rotate over. Siobhan Revelle had a really good, just kind of like playing like the short zone on the side of the field, just kind of like drifted back, read the play, and then came up and made a tackle immediately after the catch. So a lot of good stuff to build on. Came out with a win, only gave up 1 touchdown, so not a bad way to start the preseason.
I did forget to mention, if I could circle back to the Saints game just real quick, 2 things. One, defensive play calling for the game was done by Terry Joseph, former University of Texas. I think he was the defensive backs coach at UT, or maybe he might have been the D coordinator. I'm not sure, but he's with the Saints now as like a passing game coordinator on the defensive side. They let him call defensive plays. And 2, another player I should have mentioned was Michael Heldman, who's a defensive end who had 2 sacks. Was like a madman out there. And what made me think about this is you talked about the receiver, Camden Brown.
Secondary's coach at UT.
Secondary coach, thank you. You talked about Camden Brown possibly stowing him on the practice squad. Well, Michael Heldman, I don't know if they can keep him. I don't know if the Saints can put him on the practice squad because somebody's going to sign him. Like he might end up being like a Rob Ninkovich situation where Saints had Rob Ninkovich. They drafted him, put him on the practice squad. He ends up going to the Patriots and winning 3 Super Bowls or whatever, however many Super Bowls he won. So, again, maybe a little bit more depth at defensive end than what the Saints were expecting. That, would be nice. Could use some more depth on the defensive line for sure. So, but there's only 53 spots, so you got to figure out.
Marcus Davenport, until recently, was available. Could have brought back one of the all-time Saints greats, according to PFF.
Oh my God! I was like, and I'm sure. Listen, if someone from PFF heard this, they'd be like, "Yeah, you idiot! Look at his, all this stuff." I'm like, I watched the games, buddy. Now listen, he's not as bad as like Isaiah Foskey. Isaiah Foskey was bad, but he was a 2nd round pick.
So you give him a little more leeway.
Yeah, like Peyton Turner, Cowboy legend Peyton Turner. How's he doing, by the way? How's he?
I haven't seen his name very much. Let me tell you.
Oh really? Oh, that's a shock. What a surprise. Yeah, but he was like a late first round. He was one of those that was in the later Breeze years, where like they had a late first round pick, and they're just like Peyton Turner, and everybody was kind of like, okay, guess so, whatever. Speaking of, I want to transition back to the Cowboys. Watch how I do this. So in the later years with Breeze, a lot of times the Saints would make moves that were like, okay, we have this Hall of Fame quarterback. We have to maximize our window. So we might sign a veteran player to come in as like a final piece that might be the missing piece. Might trade for Quan Alexander, for example, or something like that. And the Cowboys made a move like that this week. Texas A&M legend Von Miller, now a Dallas Cowboy.
Dallas, local Dallas product. Playing for his hometown team. I think he's pretty excited, and I think we all knew this was coming because like he was posting about it on social media nonstop.
Now, what did you think of? Was it Max Crosby that was like apparently interacting with a lot of the?
You mean future Von Miller's future teammate Max?
Well,
Crosby.
that's my question. That's my question. Maybe he's got to punch Kirk Cousins a few more times.
How many more fights does he have to get into at practice before he's just sit packing for a 5th round pick?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So yeah, that's I'm telling you, buddy. Well, I'll let you. We'll get to the Cowboys here more in a minute because we're about to do our previews. But exciting times for the Cowboys possibly coming up.
Let's hope so.
All right. With that, let's dive into our previews here. We'll start with the AFC East, and in the tradition that we've been doing here, we start at the bottom based on last year's standings, work our way up. So that with that in mind, we start with the New York Jets. 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 They finished 3-14 in 2025. Over under, the number I have, buddy, is 5.5. Does that sound right to you?
Let me pull that up. I need to get to the DraftKings.
Okay. While you're doing that, let me just mention that they did hire a new offensive coordinator in the offseason, Frank Reich, formerly head coach of the Carolina Panthers, for 8 games or so.
This is his third offensive coordinator stint recently.
This is
the third
Reich, yeah. They also brought in a new defensive coordinator, Brian Duker.
Duker? I hardly know her.
Aaron Glenn obviously will be the defensive play caller as the head coach
for a little while.
I think what's the phrase here? His days are numbered for Mr. Glenn. But let's see what they did in the offseason from a player perspective.
So 5.5 is the right total. Okay. Minus 120 for the over.
For the over.
For the over.
Okay.
I know that's hard to believe.
Well, if they're going to do it, it looks like they're going to do it with Geno Smith at quarterback. God help them. They also signed an extension for Breece Hall, who I believe was injured today. I think I saw was fighting an injury, or he had maybe a minor injury today or yesterday. They also signed Tim Patrick from, I believe, from the Broncos. Did sign a couple offensive linemen, Dylan Parham. They re-signed Max Mitchell, Joe Tipman, who I believe was one of their draft picks from years gone by. They did also sign a couple Saints legends, David Onyemata and Demario Davis, which I talked about.
What's Onyemata with you?
I talked about the Demario Davis departure from a Saints perspective when we did their preview. They also traded for your guy, UT legend Tavondre Sweat, in the Jermaine Johnson trade with the Tennessee Titans that we talked about. I believe that was last week. Also acquired Minka Fitzpatrick from their division rival, the Dolphins. So, made a couple. They also signed 2 kickers. I don't know if that's a good sign. If you're signing 2 kickers in the offseason, I don't know if that's a good thing.
Yeah,
But,
probably not. Would you
Cade
li-
York and Young Ho Koo from Falcons. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I believe it's pronounced Young Way.
Young Way. Excuse me.
Yeah. We have their children listening to this fall. So I will say,
Andy,
Would-
earmuffs, Andy, earmuffs.
would you like to hear what Claude has predicted for the Jets this year?
I would love it.
So,
What do you got, Claude?
So Claude 4-13 for the Jets.
Okay,
Chat
so
GPT,
slightly under.
Chat
Slightly
GPT also 4-13.
I don't know if chat would be. My initials are PME. Can I be chat PME? Maybe.
There you go.
I don't know. I don't remember what I have. We'll do that in 2 weeks once we get through all the previews. So here's some departures for the Jets. They traded Justin Fields to the Chiefs. They lost Tyrod Taylor. They lost Elijah Vera Tucker. They traded Jermaine Johnson. We talked about that. Quincy Williams is now Cleveland Brown. Cowboy legend Nick Folk, now an Atlanta Falcon, it looks like. They did have a pretty good draft. David Bailey, I've heard good things come out of camp for David Bailey, the edge rusher out of Texas Tech. The tight end Kenyon Sadiq from Oregon. Omar Cooper from Indiana. And then, obviously, they drafted in round 4 quarterback Cade Klubnik from Clemson, who got some starting time on their preseason game against Tampa Bay, I believe is who they were playing this past week. It looked, okay. I think it's definitely going to be – but listen, if you're the Jets, you obviously have a couple different paths here. You can go the March for Arch path or the less is more path, whatever, for one of the quarterbacks next year. Or you can, see what you got with one of these guys and see what happens. I don't think Geno's going to be good enough to get them out of the running for one of these other quarterbacks in 27. I think the big thing would be if they go through this season and let's say they end up with the second or third overall pick, and then Arch decides to go back to UT again, or Dante Moore decides to go back to or whatever. That's going to be more I think the issue with the Jets this year.
Should we check Geno Smith for CTE, considering he was, foolish enough to go back to the Jets?
Well, he was traded. I don't think he was.
He was traded.
Yeah, I don't think it was. It was the because he was with the Raiders, and obviously the Raiders had the first pick. For Mendoza,
right. I didn't remember that, but I don't know. I guess.
Well, hang on. Let me double check that. Yeah, I have a trade from the Raiders.
You're probably right.
Let's talk about the Jets' schedule. So the AFC East plays probably the 2 toughest divisions in football: the AFC West and the NFC North. Are the 2? I would say the 2 of the most competitive divisions.
Mm-hmm.
Now, last place schedule. So their 3 extra games are the Tennessee Titans, the Cleveland Browns, and the Arizona Cardinals. Looking for a tough stretch of their schedule. I mean,
it's the whole thing.
it is the whole thing. But okay, here you go. Week 9, they're at Kansas City. Week 10, home Buffalo. Week 11, at the Chargers. That's a tough 3-week stretch. They start the season off at Tennessee, home Green Bay, at Detroit, at Chicago. That's 0-4. Looking you in the face, honestly. But who knows? I mean, maybe we're wrong. Week 15 at Arizona. Week 15 at Arizona. Somebody must win.
There's a
or
tie.
maybe there's a tie. No. That'll be a number 1 draft pick decider, most likely.
Don't forget the Dolphins, because they're
Dolphins I was going to say as we transition into that team, because I tell you what, buddy, the Dolphins I look like they have no interest in winning games this year. Just from
I got
outside looking in.
I kind of thought about it, and I feel like the Dolphins will be the most difficult team to watch this year. I know Arizona. I think Arizona may actually may end up being okay. Like not good in terms of winning and losing games, but like
But
they'll at least look like a professional operation.
the difference is Arizona's got Jeremiah Love. Well, I know he's injured right now. He's got a little high ankle sprain. You got your cousin. Is James Conner still on the team, right?
Yeah, but I think is he still nursing an injury? I don't know how healthy he
might
is
be.
right now.
But my point is that like Arizona has Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr., Michael Will. Like they have weapons on their team. Now they're obviously similar to the Jets. Quarterback play is up in the air. Carson Beck obviously looked good in the Hall of Fame game, but then he got injured, so he had to sit out their game this week. Let's get to the Dolphins. 7-10 last year. I have the over/under at 4.5. Is that what you got?
Let me see. Miami Dolphins. You say Dolphins?
Yeah.
It is down to 3.5.
Are you kidding me? Oh my god! Wow.
How bad is that? How bad do you have to be where the Jets are two better on the win total line?
I cannot remember a 3.5 win total for a team. That's that's rough.
Claude is taking the under.
Okay, so let's talk through the changes here. So obviously Mike McDaniel gone. Jeff Hafley comes in, new head coach, new general manager, John Eric Sullivan, both of them from the Packers organization. Hafley was the college coach at Boston College. He was head coach at Boston College prior to his time with the Packers. Offensive coordinator, this was an interesting hire. Bobby Slowick, from formerly of the Texans. And we all know how well that went in that stint. Defensive coordinator Sean Duggan and then special teams coordinator Chris Tabor. So a whole new coaching staff under Jeff Hafley. They bring in Malik Willis from the Packers. Obviously, Hafley has a background with him from their time in Green Bay. Devon Achane got a 4-year extension. They signed Tutu Atwell, Jalen Reagor, Jalen Tolbert. I mean, this screams of a team that's just trying to make it through the season. Like I'm just going to be honest. Another team that signed 2 kickers in the offseason, Zane Gonzalez and Riley Patterson. Saints legend Lonnie Johnson at defensive back. There we go.
I actually feel bad for Malik Willis because he finally gets his opportunity to start and who are the wide receivers on this team?
Well, let's see if we can find that out.
Pull up.
Two deep. For them, it might be 1 deep. Well, because one of the departures obviously was Jalen Waddle. They traded Jalen Waddle to Denver. We'll talk about Denver next week with the AFC West. Let's see, Dolphins. Here we go. Wide receivers: Jalen Tolbert, Cowboy legend.
Oh, there we go.
Caleb Douglas, who's a rookie from Louisville, I believe. Malik Washington. There's your 3 receivers. They also have Tutu Atwell, Jalen Reagor, I mentioned.
Listen. I think Jalen Tolbert is a nice kid. If he is anywhere near your top listed wide receiver on your depth chart, you got problems, buddy. Like there is no way this is a functional offense. Like Devon Achane is going to get murdered.
Their tight end is Greg Dulcich. Yeah. So now I think their offensive line will actually be somewhat decent. They've got I don't know. Maybe they won't be. Who knows? Defensively, they've got a couple pieces there. Chop Robinson was a pick for them a couple years ago from Penn State. They've got Kenneth Grant out of Michigan. Was shown some flashes at times, I guess. Or former Eagle Josh Uche. Is it Uche? Uche?
Uche, I think.
Uche. So, again, another instance here. They traded. Who did they trade? They had a corner that they traded in the offseason, I thought, or let walk. Oh, Minka Fitzpatrick. That's who we just talked about with the Jets. We mentioned the trade of Jalen Waddle. They also lost Tyreek Hill, no longer there. Nick
Tyreek is still like just floating out there.
He's
right?
just floating around. Yeah, he's
trying to meet
doing
his child
whatever.
support payments.
God help him. Bradley Chubb, no longer on the team. Rasul Douglas.
They did extend their linebacker, who also might be traded at some point.
Who's that?
Jordan Brooks.
Oh, Jordan Brooks. He's from UT, isn't he? Or no?
No, you're thinking of Jonathan Brooks.
Yeah, I am thinking of Jonathan Brooks. You're right.
The other Jay Brooks.
The other Jay Brooks. Oh, Caleb Douglas, by the way, not from Louisville, from Texas Tech. My apologies. They did also draft. They drafted a linebacker you and I both liked out of Texas Tech, Jacob Rodriguez.
That's true. That's true.
So, I know what it is. They drafted Chris Bell out of Louisville, who's a receiver.
Okay.
I got my wires crossed there. They drafted a couple of UT. Trey Moore, linebacker, and Michael Taffy, safety, and DJ Campbell, an offensive lineman. So a couple of Longhorns there in Miami, along with Quinn Ewers, obviously, as the backup quarterback.
DJ Campbell, he knows how to play music and make soup.
Yes, exactly. Moving on. So their non-division schedule, their 3 extra games are Colts, Bengals, 49ers. That does not help. That does not help their cause this year. They open with at Raiders, at Niners, home Chiefs, at Vikings, home Bengals before their bye week. I think 0-5 is a distinct possibility going into their bye week.
Need to check that rebet line.
Yeah. Yeah, last year you could do like the record after 5 games, I think was like a something you do. Yeah, 0-5 is
so I made money on that because what I did was I had bet 0-5 for I think the Saints and the Titans, and both of them got to 0-4. And then I went in on that last game and hedged and took them as underdogs on the money line and then locked in a profit for it. So that worked.
There you go, buddy. Yeah. I don't know what to expect from the Dolphins. Again, they opened the season back-to-back West Coast, or Vegas isn't West Coast, but you know what I mean, like Pacific Mountain Time, late window games. Then come back home for the Chiefs. I mean, I'm going to be. I'll tell you what. I'm going to be interested to see. I'm more interested in just how bad they are, truly. Just because, like, I mean, I feel like with a new coach, you may get some energy, or I don't know. But look, I mean, they play. When do they play the Jets? They play the Jets week 7 and week 12. Then they're okay. Here you go.
Even their like week new 13. Head coach. Does their new head coach like inspire any excitement from you? Would hiring Jeff Hafley like?
No, not really.
No, wouldn't.
Here's their week 13. Sorry, real quick. Okay. Week 13 at Denver. Then they host Chicago. Then they go to Green Bay. Then they host the Chargers. They host the Bills, and they're at the Patriots. That's their last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games. I mean, you're gonna end on a 6-game losing streak at least, probably.
I mean, I think hiring Jeff Hafley should bring you about as much excitement as having Jalen Tolbert as your wide receiver 1.
What's more exciting, right?
We'll see.
We'll see. All right, let's get to the two good teams in this division. Starting with the Buffalo Bills, who, even though they are good, they had a little bit of turnover in the coaching department. 12-5 last year, lost in the divisional round. Kind of a controversial loss to the Broncos. No offense to our good friend Donnie, but they're over under for the Bills. I have it 10.5.
That is correct. And the minus 120 to the over. That's correct.
So let's talk about their turnover here. So Sean McDermott out the door, whole new coaching staff, whole new coaching staff. Joe Brady. Well, I guess not really, because they promote Joe Brady from offensive coordinator to head coach. He brings in Saints legend Pete Carmichael as his offensive coordinator. Kind of a surprise move that Pete Carmichael would leave Sean Payton's shadow, as it were, to go to Buffalo. They brought in one of the hot defensive coordinator candidates, Jim Leonhard, from Denver, also. And then they brought in a new special teams coordinator, Jeff Rogers. In terms of players, we've got Kyle Allen, your guy, Shane. I always get this name wrong. Is it Buchel?
Steve Buechele.
Buechele. Shane Buechele.
Same Buechele, who is the son of Steve Buechele.
Oh, okay.
Former Rangers third baseman.
Ah, there you go. Big trade in the offseason for DJ Moore from the Chicago Bears. Shout out to our guy, Andy. I mean, I was thinking about this the other day. Who is the best pass catchers that Josh Allen has had in his time? There's Stephon Diggs. Is that it? I mean, Dawson Knox, I guess, is, and Dalton Kincaid. They're pretty good.
I think it's basically Stephon Diggs.
But like from the receiver position, the best receiver that Josh Allen has played with in his time at Buffalo is Stephon Diggs. Brandon Cooks. Like what are we talking about here? Like,
what Amari Cooper?
Of course.
I mean that.
Yeah. So it's an interesting thing with Buffalo. I think a lot of people are down on Buffalo this year because it feels like Buffalo is Josh Allen and not a whole lot else. But like James Cook is a top 5 running back in the NFL to me. Like, I mean, I think he's outstanding. I think the big question with Buffalo, their defense was not not a strong point, and you just fired a defensive-minded head coach. So, which maybe that's why he got fired, because the defense was,
it was starting to fall apart. That's the thing, and that I think that's going to end up being Todd Bowles' demise. Is if that Tampa Bay defense ends up being bad again, then
that's a good point.
What would you say you do here?
Exactly right. Like, what is it you do here?
Would you like to know the other receivers who have wide receivers who have led the Bills in receiving outside of Stephon Diggs during Josh Allen's time with the team?
Not Keon Coleman, because he's been. Matt Collins, is that one?
That is not correct.
Why don't you just tell me the name of the?
There is a Zay Jones.
Oh gosh, okay, not Zay Flowers, Zay Jones.
John Brown, who I think is a Arizona Cardinals legend. Then there was 4 years of Diggs, and the last 2 years, Shakir.
Oh, of course,
Khalil Shakir.
Khalil Shakir, yeah. So,
who's maxed out at 821 yards.
Jeez. Just take a look at Buffalo's depth chart here. So Keon Coleman, DJ Moore, Khalil Shakir. That's not a terrible on paper receiver room, I don't think. They also have Dante Pettis, Saints legend. Oh, McCole Hardman, former Chief. I think the two tight ends are probably, Kincaid and Knox are going to be a lot of their strength. Their offensive line looks pretty good, but with a guy like Allen, your offensive line has a little bit of margin, a little more margin of error, I would say.
Yeah.
Defensively, they do bring in Bradley Chubb defensively, so that's not nothing, I think. And then they've spent a little bit on the defensive back. They did bring in Saints legend C.J. Gardner-Johnson, but unfortunately, I believe he is injured at the moment. So,
good old CJ.
Hey, listen, I said it when he was on the Saints. I'm like, I love this guy on my team. I'm going to hate him when he's on another team, and that's exactly what happened. So, all right, let's look at their schedule. Oh, actually, sorry. Let's look at their departures real quick. So, Mitch Trubisky was the backup. He is gone. Kyle Allen steps in, and presumably Kyle Allen steps in as the backup role. Brandon Cooks is gone. Gabe Davis gone. Curtis Samuel gone. David Edwards is now a New Orleans Saint, the offensive lineman. On defense, Joey Bosa, he gone. You got Matt Milano and his cookies. They're also gone. Shaq Thompson gone. Darius Slay. Tre'Davious White. These are, I mean, they may not be big names, but they've been contributing names for the Bills. As far as the draft, go ahead.
I will say I think I trust Jim Leonard based on, kind of his history to get a little, maybe the whole will be greater than the sum of its parts in this.
But again, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this defense, and on paper, it's not.
It's not terrible.
The corners. I think the corners are probably a concern. You look at D. Alford, Maxwell Hairston, Christian Benford. Those are your corners. Linebackers are Terrell Bernard, who's a pretty good player as far as I remember. They did have the big defensive lineman Deion Walker. Remember him from Kentucky? Big mountain of a human being from Kentucky. TJ Sanders, Ed Oliver from U of H, who has played okay at times in his career. I'm with you. I'm not as down on the Bills. And I do think it helps that they have a second place schedule. And the team that they're chasing, quote unquote, in this division is pretty ripe for a regression, as we'll talk about maybe here in a minute. Let's go through their schedule real quick. Their 3 extra games: Texans, Ravens, and Rams. Not doing a lot of favors for you there. They do start at Houston, week 1, which is a great game.
So 0-1.
Week 1. They kick off week 2, Thursday Night Football, hosting the Lions and opening their new stadium. I don't know if you've gotten a chance to see any of their new stadium there in Buffalo. Looks like a nice facility. From what I've seen,
heard there's some seats with some bad views. However,
yes, I have heard that. And buddy, their RC, their Diet Pepsi uniforms,
those are trash.
Those are bad. Okay, now starting in week 3, this is kind of a tough schedule. Home Chargers, home Patriots, at the Rams on Monday night, and then at Vegas right before a bye week. That's tricky. They come back. They have Baltimore at home after the bye week. Thanksgiving night or Thanksgiving Day, they play Kansas. They host Kansas City. I'm guessing that's the night game. Yeah, because Lions and Cowboys would be And then they close out the season at Green Bay. That's a Sunday night. Home Chicago on a Saturday, so a little bit of a short week there. Then at Denver on Christmas. Week 16. They do end the season at Miami and home for the Jets. So that's a little bit of a breather there. But there's some tough stretches in the schedule for them to navigate. And with a first-year head coach, it's going to be interesting to see. I think that's part of it, too, is like we don't know what Brady's going to look like as a coach. Pete Carmichael as an offensive coordinator didn't work out so well in New Orleans once he had to call plays and after Sean Payton left. But again, Josh Allen makes up for a lot of sins, as it were. So, listen, if it were me, I would just run James Cook until he can't run no more. Like I would just
till he's James cooked.
till he's James cooked exactly. But yeah, we'll see when we do our record predictions here in a couple weeks. But I think Buffalo's got to sneak. I think they might sneak up on some people. Maybe they start off slow, and then kind of the back half of the season they pick it up and sneak in. Maybe not sneak into the playoffs, but like they get a wild card or win the division, and nobody's really thinking they're going to make a run, and then they end up making a run. So who knows? Let's move on to last team in the AFC East here. The defending AFC champions lost in the Super Bowl. The New England Patriots, 14-3.
I don't think they just lost in the Super Bowl. They
got curb stomped a little bit. Yeah,
they got manhandled.
The number I have for their over under is 10.5. Is that what you have?
That is correct. Minus
Juice
on
the.
What do you got, Paul? Under. Minus 140 to the under.
That's some juice. Okay, so off season, nothing exciting happened.
Would you like to know what ChatGPT has there?
Please. What does ChatGPT say about the Patriots?
ChatGPT has the Patriots finishing last in the division at 3-14.
Oh my God. Okay, now look. Let's hang on. Let's play this game for a minute. If we're sitting here in January and the Patriots have finished 3-14, what has happened? Has Drake May missed the entire season? Drake, okay.
Well,
AJ Brown quit halfway through.
Mike Vrabel is off on another date with Diana
Mike Vrabel.
Rossini.
He's off. Yeah, he's off. He's
on vacation with Diana Rossini again.
Like, okay, I know we talked a little bit about this when it happened. Vrabel's not going to get suspended for this, right? Like this is just gonna be something that happened, and we just move on, right?
Yep.
Okay. I'm not saying that's the right approach, but I'm glad we at least agree that that's what's going to happen. Another receiver that they acquired in the offseason, obviously the AJ Brown trade, but they also acquired Romeo Doubs from the Packers. Kind of a under the radar move there. Not really a whole lot else. They did bring in Elijah Vera Tucker, offensive lineman from the Jets. So they did lose Stephon Diggs, who's still Stephon Diggs signed with the Commanders.
He's in Washington with another team.
We'll talk about that. Talk about that in a minute. Yep. Their draft offensive lineman Lomo from Utah, who was he the one that had like the weird video in the draft? Like he had a weird where he was like dancing or something, and people were just roasting him online about it.
I don't remember that one.
Anyway, see who else we got here. They did also draft. They drafted Gabe. I believe it's Jaquez from Illinois, who's an edge rusher who got a little bit of. I heard good things about him going into the draft. They did draft a running back out of Alabama named Jam Miller. Sounds delightful.
What kind of what position is he?
Running back.
Should have been a corner.
He should have been.
Like Quentin Jammer.
By Quentin Jammer, of course. I mean, from a personnel standpoint, let me pull up their depth chart real quick here. New England Patriots. So obviously Drake May. Hey, I forget who it was, but somebody said the best throw of preseason week 1 was our guy Tommy DeVito.
Oh.
Tommy Cutlets. So from a running back position, you have Ramondre Stevenson, you have your guy Travion Henderson, AJ Brown, Romeo Doubs, Demario Douglas. That's a pretty good receiver room. And oh, by the way, you also have Kayshon Boutte. Just not doing anything. Really. Mac Hollins is also there. We mentioned him earlier. Hunter Henry, tight end. He just got paid. He just got extended a couple weeks ago. Offensive line, the Will Campbell thing was really kind of odd last year. Like he was the number 4 pick in the draft. They put him at left tackle, and there's just like as the season went on, it just seems like he became a bigger liability, particularly in the Super Bowl. He was kind of a liability at left tackle. So he said part of it was he was injured. The short arms thing.
The guy with T-Rex arms.
He had the T-Rex arms. But yeah, we'll see how he improves this season. On defense, Milton Williams in the middle there. Harold Landry, former Tennessee Titan, although I'm seeing here Harold Landry is on the PUP list at the moment. Christian Gonzalez, their starting corner, who is awaiting his payday as we speak. Obviously, Devon Witherspoon just got paid by the Seahawks. Christian Gonzalez would be next in line, it appears. So we'll see. Don't think he's going to hold out or anything, but just something to keep an eye on. We talked about them potentially being a regression candidate. Let's talk about why. Their schedule. Although I will say, and we talked a little bit about this with the Jaguars and the Steelers, their extra 3 games are Jags, Steelers, and Seahawks. Obviously, they'll open the season at Seattle. But like, it's just really weird that like 3 teams that are like prime regression candidates are all playing each other. The Steelers, the Jags, and the Patriots. They're all, which obviously makes sense because they all finished in first place. So they all have to, But and for the Patriots, they open at Seattle, as we talked about. Then they host the Steelers. They're at Jacksonville. They're at Buffalo. That's their first 4 games. That's tricky, man. Like that, you could be 1-3 after that stretch. Like that's not out of the realm of possibility. They do get to go to Munich to play the Lions in week 10. So shout out to the German folks there. They get the rare Thursday night to Monday night. So week 14, Thursday night, they host Minnesota. Week 15, Monday night, they go to Kansas City. So that's a interesting schedule quirk there. They do go to Chicago week 7. That's another Thursday night game. So they got a couple of primetime exclusive feature, whatever you want to call it. Showcase games, I guess, for lack of a better word. I got to tell you, man, I mean, we mentioned this a little bit. Obviously, in the AFC East, it feels like there's the 2 teams. There's Bills, Patriots, and then there's 30 feet of something, and then there's Jets, Dolphins.
Well, the Jets even have some breathing room between them and the Dolphins. If the
they might have 10
which-
feet of they might have 10 feet of something else. But yeah, I mean, are you with me that this is just a 2-horse race at this point?
Yeah, well, I mean, you would need one of those horses to be shot for one of those other horses to come up.
How did my horse do? He had to be shot. What was I going to say? Let me ask this question: Do you see a scenario in which this division becomes, I don't want to say like the NFC South, but like, could you see like 9-8 winning this division or 10-7?
I have a hard time seeing that.
Okay. Because I mean, I got to be honest. I don't remember the exact number I came up with the Patriots, but I don't think it was double digits for me in terms of wins. So,
well, Claude is more.
Is this
confident. Claude is much more confident than you.
Is there a one? Okay, let me ask this way: AFC East, 1 playoff team this year or 2?
I think 2. I still think they get 2 in.
Okay.
You have 7. You still have 7 playoff spots. I think.
Okay.
I expect New England to take a step back, but I think they'll sneak in the 6 or 7 spot.
That All right. So there's that. All right. Are you ready to go to your division, the
Let's
NFC
go.
East?
Let's talk about the two losers first.
Talk about the two. The New York Football Giants, 4-13 in 2025. I have their over under at 7.5, buddy. Is that what you got?
It is 7.5. No juice.
Juice on?
No
No
juice. No
juice.
juice.
Oh.
Minus 110, both sides.
Okay. This is an interesting one. Obviously, they had a coaching change. They brought in John Harbaugh, who brought in offensive coordinator Matt Nagy. God help him.
Yeah, that should instill some confidence.
When the Chiefs are like, yeah, you can have them, like that's probably not a good sign. Like the Chiefs weren't like, oh no, Matt Nagy's leaving. What are we gonna do?
No.
So let's go through some additions here. Obviously they signed a couple Raven players because John Harbaugh is now their head coach. Fullback Patrick Ricard. Who was the other Raven? Isaiah Likely, tight end. I think there was another one. Am I missing? I'll figure it out in a minute. They also brought in Odell Beckham back.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw him in the preseason game running some slants.
Little nostalgia trip there. Braxton Berrios, Darnell Mooney. So they did sign Juju Smith-Schuster, but it looks like they cut him today because who did they sign? They signed somebody else, and as a corresponding move, they had to cut Juju Smith-Schuster, but I can't remember who they signed. Saints legend Juju Smith-Schuster, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, and then a couple other signings here: Tremont Edmonds, DJ Reader on the defensive side. They do have a new defensive coordinator in who is his name? Denard Wilson, who I remember being kind of a hot name in the coaching cycle. I forget where he came from though. So departures for them. Russell Wilson is now working for CBS. Wan'Dale Robinson's in Tennessee. Daniel Bellinger is now in Tennessee because of the Brian Daboll connection there. We talked about that a couple weeks ago, or maybe last week. Dexter Lawrence traded him to the Bengals for the number 10 pick that turned into the offensive lineman out of Miami.
And not Caleb Downs, fortunately.
Not Caleb Downs. They did draft Caleb Downs' teammate, Arvell Reese, at the 5th pick overall. And apparently he's looked well. No, I don't want to spoil the Sonny Styles conversation, but apparently Arvell Reese has looked a little better than Sonny Styles in camp, from what I've heard. So their draft was pretty good. We mentioned the 2 first-round picks. Colton Hood, corner out of Tennessee, who probably would have been a first-round pick had he not had injury history.
A very, very bad injury history, too.
Very bad injury history. So the Saints didn't draft him, but they drafted – never mind. Okay, let's talk about the NFC East schedule here. So the NFC East will play the NFC West and the AFC South this year. Which I just remembered, I think I missed on the AFC East teams. I think I missed their additional opponent. Let me go back here. Yeah, I missed. What did I do here? My math. Something's missing. So you got 6, 10, 14. No. Okay. Maybe I just have one too many opponents on the NFC East. So for the NFC East, so for the Giants, they will play the NFC West, the AFC South. Their extra games are Saints. Oh, I see what I did. Saints, Lions, and Browns. I listed the Cardinals separate from the NFC West, but obviously, yeah. So that's what it was.
The Cardinals are so bad they don't get to count in the NFC West.
Yeah, they get. Yeah, we're gonna. So the Giants, they start Sunday night, home for Dallas, then go Monday night at the Rams. Sounds like 0-2 to me, but that's neither here nor there. Then they have 2 home games: Tennessee, Arizona. They go to Washington. They come back, host the Saints, and then go to Houston. We could go watch them play Houston if we wanted to. I don't want to, but we could.
I'm not sure why anyone would willingly want to watch the Giants.
I don't know. They do have back-to-back weeks. Week 13, they play home San Francisco. Week 14, they go to Seattle. So that's not easy stretch. They do play at Detroit on a Monday night on week 16. What are the odds that game gets flexed out?
I'd say pretty good.
Pretty good odds, yeah. The juice is on the.
Although
Yes,
I will say, I mean, the Giants are a major media market, so it's hard to like.
True.
It's going to get,
And if-
you're gonna get big ratings,
and if
no matter
they-
what. So
And if they somehow are sniffing the playoffs, even if it's like, like who goes around sniffing, even if it's just a little bit, they're definitely going to keep that game. So yeah, that's a good point. Okay. Anything else on the Giants before we go to the other team that's not yours?
no, let's go to
And not the
the.
Eagles?
We got to be careful saying their record. Here.
Oh yeah. That's perfect. That's perfect. You can't make this up, folks.
How many
my
games did you
gosh.
win? Whoa!
Whoa,
It's like
we
a
can't
Martin
talk about
Van.
it.
We got a Martin Van Buren situation going on over here.
I'll put it like this: they lost 12 games, so you do the math.
There we go.
Their over/under is 7 point something.
7.5. 7.5. 7.5.
7.5. Well, okay, we're good there. We could say that. Is that what you have? You have 7.5 as their over/under.
That is, and I show juice on the under minus
Yeah.
115.
So, Dan Quinn back as head coach. However, new offensive coordinator David Blau, Cliff Kingsbury mutually agreed to part ways. Is that what the story was?
That's the story.
What happened to their defensive coordinator? Did he just get fired?
I think so, but we
Okay.
all know who the real defensive coordinator is.
Yeah, I mean Dan Quinn's calling the shots. Durante Jones was hired as defensive coordinator. Again, a name that didn't the Cowboys interview him?
I think so.
Yeah. So, see how that goes. Marcus Mariota re-signed, although I did see he had an injury either in their preseason game or in a practice. Not sure what the severity of that is. They brought in Jerome Ford, running back, Rashad White from the Buccaneers, re-signed Jeremy McNichols. They signed Diami Brown, Traylon Burks, Van Jefferson. None of these names are
not doing it for you.
Not doing it for me. They re-signed Laramie Tunsil, who was their big acquisition last offseason.
It's good to see that the Washington franchise, despite having new ownership, has not given up on the strategy of let's sign some guys that used to be awesome and pray that they remember how to be awesome.
Yeah. A couple. I mean, none of these defensive signings are. They did sign Levon Chasson, excuse me. 1 year deal.
You're going to say Le'Veon Bell. I was like,
no.
Speaking of what?
Well, there you go. There you go. Who else did I see? Oh, Leo Chanel, who's a linebacker from the Steelers, who pretty good. I mean,
Does he also have a fragrance? Yeah,
I believe he did. He stole it from Kramer, I think, is what happened.
Chanel number. Whoa! Chanel number.
Whoa.
Keep going. I'll be. Well,
go ahead.
Say this, and then I'll be right back.
Okay, I was gonna say I wanted to talk about this ridiculous situation, but I'll wait till you get back.
Okay.
While you're gone, I'll do departures and while you depart. So departures for the Commanders here: Jeff Driscoll, Josh Johnson, Chase Edmonds, Austin Eckler, who played significant time for them at running back. Debo Samuel, Chris Moore, Noah Brown, Zach Ertz, Von Miller, who is, as we mentioned, now a Cowboy, Bobby Wagner, Saints legend Marshawn Lattimore. Unfortunately, that trade did not work out for the Commanders. As far as their draft is concerned, they did draft Sonny Styles out of Ohio State, who was viewed as one of the better players in the draft. Kind of mixed reviews so far, I think, coming out of camp, but we'll see what happens as he moves along. I think obviously the big story here for this team is the Jaden Daniels coming back from let's call it disappointing second season. Would you agree that Jaden Daniels' sophomore season was a little bit of a disappointment?
Yes, who could have seen that coming?
I believe we did. We'll also mention that they did sign Stephon Diggs. So their wide receiver room right now is Terry McLaurin, Stephon Diggs, and Luke McCaffrey.
What are the odds that Stephon Diggs and Jaden's mom? Speaking of hide your moms.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that's true. So, okay. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but like, what the hell is this Jaden Daniels thing? Like what? Like what?
So someone did say that this feels like, because she runs like all of his like PR business stuff. So
cool.
So most people think
good
that
for her.
She was the one behind this, and it was also the most shoot yourself in the foot. Like, there was no reason for it. Completely unforced error. All the PR has been bad. Nobody has any sympathy for you. Nobody's on your side on this.
Okay.
There's no reason to do it.
But has a college football player, or I'm sorry, an NFL player, ever like gone back to their college and say that person cannot wear my number?
No, because I think most people are sane. So that's part of it.
My favorite meme out of this whole, and there's been a lot of great ones.
Oh, it's been everywhere.
I mean, it's like, this is the reason Twitter exists. Like,
I think I saw National Park roasting him earlier. It was like,
it's like everybody's. But I saw somebody posted a picture of the guy. I forget who the player at LSU is that's wearing that number.
Mm-hmm.
But they posted a picture of him, and on his jersey it said square root of 25.
I saw that.
It's like, all right, well, you want to do it this way? We'll do it this way. I mean, just like, but yeah, all the things, like, I got to give you a high 4. I was thinking the other day, I was like, I was going to give a movie. I saw this movie on Letterboxd I really like, but I can only give it 4 stars. Can't give it. Yeah,
out of respect.
I can only give it 4.5 out of respect or whatever. Like, it's just, it's insane. It's like, I gotta tell you, man. And the other thing is, like, this has to be a distraction.
Oh yeah, no, everybody thinks. I'm sure like everybody's swept it under the rug.
Like, if you're someone on the Commanders right now, you're like, what are you doing? Like, what? Like, why? Like, who cares?
Hey, Jade,
like,
look at this other meme I found that I saw.
Right, exactly.
Jade,
oh my god! Like, I would be printing them out, just putting them on his locker, just like, here's the new one.
It would be funny if they won 4 games this year, because they and then like, if they
please. I beg of you.
Let me see what Claude says.
While you're doing that, let me talk about their schedule real quick.
Claude has them repeating their total from last year.
Oh, so 12 losses.
Yes.
With an undeterminate number of wins.
ChatGPT says 10 wins for this team. So
okay, so the non-division schedule. So Falcons, Vikings, Bengals is their 3 extra games. They start the season 2 divisional road games off the bat at Philadelphia, at Dallas. Then they go home Seattle, fly to London to play the Colts, come back, play the Giants at home, go to San Francisco for a Monday night game. That is a whirlwind of a schedule before your week 7 bye week there. They have back-to-back. Here's another Thursday night to Monday night. They play at the Giants Thursday night, week 10. Week 11, they play Monday night home against the Bengals. It's just weird. I can't remember this many like Thursday to Monday night games like this, but such is life. Yeah, I mean, now down the stretch, their schedule's not terrible, I guess. At Arizona, at Tennessee, home Houston, home Atlanta, at Minnesota, at Jacksonville, and then week 18, home for the Cowboys. So the Cowboys will see them week 2 and week 18. Which is crazy, but is what it is, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, man. Like, if you told me this team was gonna finish last in the NFC East, I'd believe you.
Yeah,
I mean, like, and like, is Dan Quinn's job in jeopardy here?
Oh
Like,
yeah, if they lose again, he's gone. I don't think there's any if they have another
Man,
bad season, I don't
this
see how
team-
he keeps his job.
they were in the NFC Championship 2
It
years
was
ago.
Yeah, that's because that appearance was fraudulent. Because they barely
How?
beat the
Yeah.
they barely
they
beat
beat
the
the
Buccaneers.
Lions.
They beat the Buccaneers barely because Baker fumbled. So they won that game by a
Yeah.
field goal. And then
And
the Lions were
pooped
like
the bed. Yeah,
and we're also their entire secondary was dead. So like
that's true.
and then how did they look in that NFC Championship game, by the way?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Well, they
It's a
lose
fair
by
point.
50, something like that.
Yeah, it was bad. They gave up 50, I think. I got you. But man, like how quickly it comes. Let me ask this question: does Jaden Daniels make it through the entire season?
I mean, he's gonna get himself hurt at some point. That's what
Does he only play 4?
4 games. Well, he
Oh my
has the rights to
gosh.
that number, so he would play the full amount.
So stupid. Oh my god! Like the
One of
first
the-
time when I saw the story pop up, I'm like, this has to be fake. This cannot be. Cannot
It's
be.
AI,
real.
AI slop.
It has to be. Schefter got caught by AI. It's
Or
AI
the
Schefter.
onion article would be.
Or the Onion. Yeah, it's like. And then Brandon, this guy thinks the best thing to do is release a statement about it. He's like, focused on the season. Oh, too late. Like, sorry. Like,
Nobody else is focused on the season.
this ship, that cat is out of the bag. Like, we're on our way, buddy. Like, oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna let you take our next team here. The
All right.
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Your team.
Cowboys finished 7-9-1 last year. Over under 9.5. Would you like to take a guess on where the juice is right now? Over under 9.5. There is some juice on the under right now.
Ooh,
So
really?
there's some sweet action right there. If you want to get some plus money on the Cowboys over, you can.
I
get
wouldn't do that to you, buddy. I wouldn't do that to you.
I will say Claude has the Cowboys finishing 11-6.
Nice.
So
Okay.
Claude believes in the.
A lot of people, I got to tell you, I don't want to make you uncomfortable, buddy, but I think a lot of people are jumping on the Cowboy.
I wish everybody would
Express.
Shut up. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's like when the Saints started getting some buzz about Jordan.
Yeah, you saw what
Tyson.
happened.
Yeah,
You saw what happened there, yeah.
Oh. All right, so let's talk about the biggest addition this offseason was the new defensive coordinator, Christian Parker, coming over from Philadelphia.
Excuse me, it was Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Oh, that's
Thank
true.
you very much.
I will
let's be
say he
respectful.
did it. He was did some very good run blocking on Saturday night. So good for. Good for
I thought you were going to say, "Oh yeah, he had a nice catch," or that. Nope,
No,
this is some good run blocking.
some good run blocking. Oh
Well, oh boy. Okay.
all right. They added Sam Howell to a $2.5 million 1 year deal. Brought back Javonte Williams on a 3-year, $24 million deal with $16 million guaranteed. Tyler Johnson, George Pickens signed. George Pickens signed his franchise tag, which is a big relief that he didn't end up holding out for that. Like you said, MVS on a 1 year deal. Center Matt Hennessy, which is a depth piece, I'm sure. Jonathan Bullard brought in over from the former Saint, right?
Yes. Not briefly a Saint, but yeah, you are correct.
Yeah, so he wasn't there long enough to challenge Marcus Davenport for the defensive end spot. Sam Williams brought back on a 1 year, $3 million deal, and then Rashawn Gary traded for a 27 4th-round pick. They did end up reworking his contract to free up some money there, so they were able to get him on a bit of a discount after trading for him. D. Winters also brought in with the trade from the San Francisco 49ers for pick, which ended up being pick 152 in 2026. Brought in Kobe Durant, former Ram, as a free agent cornerback. Darian Kendrick, safety PJ Locke, former UT alum,
yeah.
brought in
Former
from
Bronco.
Denver.
Former
Former Bronco, that's correct. And another safety brought in from Arizona, which we're really excited about, Jalen Thompson, who signed a 3-year deal worth a maximum of $36 million, and Brandon Aubrey, I believe the richest or highest paid kicker in NFL history now, with a deal 4-year, $28 million with $20 million guaranteed.
Automatic Aubrey. Yeah.
Yep. Departures, they lost Will Greer to the Panthers.
Well, actually, he retired.
Oh, that's right. I think he's actually back with Dallas now as like in a coaching / consulting role.
Oh,
yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
He's going the Kellen Moore route. He's going the Kellen Moore route.
Exactly. Miles Sanders, wide receiver Jalen Tolbert, who we talked about with the Dolphins. Offensive tackle Hakeem Adeniji. Robert Jones, offensive guard. Jadeveon Clowney ended up going back to his original home this offseason. Back to Houston. Dante Fowler was talked into joining the Seahawks by DeMarcus Lawrence. They traded Osa Odigizua to the 49ers. Solomon Thomas was traded to the Titans. Very sad to say, Kenneth Murray is no longer with the team.
4-1 out.
4-1 out. Jack Sanborn also no longer with the team.
How did you, real quick, Jack Sanborn, he was a decent player, right? I mean, he was
I expected him to be kind of like a floor raiser, and he wasn't very good. It didn't seem like it seemed like he'd lost a step last year.
Well, he's with the Bears now, so
back with the Bears.
Back with the Bears. So maybe Andy will help him fund that step.
Maybe. Also, Logan Wilson and Donovan Wilson also no longer with the team. No relation. Okay. In the draft, I think they had a pretty good draft this year, Paul. I think you and I can both agree that safety Caleb Downs in the first round. Mm-hmm. Malachi Lawrence with their second pick in the first round. Third round added edge Jayshawn Barham, who I'm excited to see hopefully pretty soon out of Michigan.
Yeah, he's banged up. He's banged up right now, isn't he?
Yeah, but he was at the practice. I don't know if I think he was working off to the side. So he's getting in some. So it's a minor thing. So hopefully he'll be back for the game this weekend against Arizona. Okay. Drew Shelton out of Penn State, cornerback Devin Moore out of Florida. Haven't seen much of them. LT Overton out of Alabama, and then the wide receiver Anthony Smith out of East Carolina. We talked about Camden Brown, who's been the non-drafted wide receiver who's really made an impression during the offseason. So, like the rest of the division, they will play the NFC West and the AFC South. 3 additional games are the Bucks, the Packers, and the Rams. So, don't
The
really.
Ravens. Rams are in the NFC West.
Oh,
so
you did the thing.
Yeah, my
Okay.
bad.
And the
so
the
Buck-
Bucks, Packers, and Ravens, who they will play in Rio
Brazil.
de Janeiro.
Yeah,
Is it in Rio? It's in Rio, right?
it is. I
Okay.
believe it's in Rio. Yeah.
Okay. I think they have a halftime show for this thing too.
Yeah. This game. So this game is it's kind of weird. It's not a standalone. It's like during the normal Sunday late afternoon window. I think. Like it's just a regular 3:05 or whatever that normal
Mhm.
start time is, but it's just in Brazil. So like it's not like a Netflix game at whatever time.
Well, the worst part
And
of
it's
that
on-
is so they have that week. They have that like Sunday afternoon game, and then they have to fly back and go to Houston to play the
Yeah.
Texans. So that's like not ideal scheduling. So I think they need to start off 2-0 if they like to avoid any trouble. So fortunately, they do play the Giants and the Commanders to start. So there is that. End of the season, you finish with New York and Washington. Philadelphia, they will play
Sorry, can I
Philadelphia.
just
Philadelphia on
comment real
Thanksgiving
quick?
this year.
Yep. Just real quick. Week 5, 6, and 7, all primetime games. Thursday night, Tampa at home. Sunday night at Green Bay. Probably Micah Parsons coming back for that game. And Monday night at Philadelphia. 3 weeks in a row. That's
We do get a lot of primetime games.
you? No. Cowboys?
Just a few. It's nice to revive the tradition of Cowboys Giants on Sunday Night Football to open the season. Seems like for a while there, that was like every year that was the Sunday night game for the first week of the season.
Excuse me. There was a question I wanted to ask you about the okay. I don't want to jinx, but if I told you, if I told you the Cowboys could go to the Super Bowl this year, who is the AFC team? Realistically speaking,
Okay,
who is
the
AFC
Dolphins.
team?
The Dolphins.
Yeah, right. Yeah, let's be realistic here. The reason I bring this up is there is a non-zero chance that the Super Bowl this year could be Cowboys Texans, and
Right.
that would be. That would be for the state of Texas. I think that would be like my former employer would be happy because Academy would just be
Oh, they would be raking it in.
rolling in it. Yeah, that would just be so. But if you had a choice again against a realistic AFC team, who would you?
Can I say the fraudulent New England Patriots?
Sure, why not?
Let me. I'm just going to run down
I
the
did
list of teams
see.
real quick.
Well, while you're doing that, I did see a Super Bowl prediction of Cowboys Bengals.
That I was
And I
going to
mean-
say Bengals. I could like that I could get behind because then it's just going to be a boat race.
Well, you guys are basically the same team. Bengals
Right.
and Cowboys are basically the same. They're so.
How mad do you think Bills fans would be if they
Oh,
finally make it to the Super Bowl and we're sitting there?
And then like yeah, it would be it'd be something, buddy. But okay, let me back up a second.
How
Let me
about
just
the
back up.
Chargers? That would be fun.
Well, the game's in SoFi. Super Bowl's in LA, so
Yeah, but who do you think has more fans?
I understand. I understand. I get it, but I'm just telling you. What was I gonna say? How are you feeling with because as long as I've known you, I think this is the most hype Cowboys team going into a season I can remember. So how are we feeling? We
I feel decent. I still want to see. You're just going to have to see more of the defense before, but I think I'm starting to get the feeling that they'll at least be competent, and that's. I don't. I. This is what I've said to everybody who has asked me. I don't need them to be. I don't need them to be the 85 Bears. I don't need you to go and win the game every week. I just need you to not make Russell Wilson look like prime Peyton Manning. Okay, like that.
Well, yeah, that'd be ideal. Yeah.
Last year, anytime that the offense scored, like you couldn't enjoy it because you knew, like within 30 seconds, the defense was going to turn around and somebody's going to be running wide open, naked down the middle of the field.
Here's the thing: 3 of your first 4 games, and you could almost make an argument all of your first 4 games, but take Baltimore out of the equation for right now, are against quarterbacks that are kind of maligned at this point. I mean, Dart, Daniels, CJ Stroud, like, so if you can prove against that caliber of quarterback that you can like not give up 400 passing yards a game, that would be nice. Lamar, like
he will be.
That's tough. Yeah. That's tough. Well, and Derek, like the Ravens are a different beast, I think, on offense, but I mean, your offense is we know your offense is gonna be good.
I'm not looking forward to playing that Texans defense coming off the
that one's gonna be tough. I know we talked about the Texans last week because I want to say they have I think they go home. So like they play a home game right before Dallas, and then they have you guys. So it's look. I all kidding aside, I don't root for the Cowboys, but I do. Obviously, we host the show. I don't want you to come in a surly mood every week. So, but. I think you guys have a non-zero chance is how I'll describe it. Let me check.
You're telling me there's a chance.
I'm telling you there's a chance. Texans. Oh no, I'm sorry. The Texans have at Indianapolis the week before they host the Cowboys. So they will be going up against Danny. Now, the Texans' first 4 games in terms of quarterbacks are Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Danny Dimes, Dak Prescott. Like, maybe Danny Dimes aside, that's pretty tough.
Yeah.
But again, their defense is probably best defense in NFL outside of Denver. Right. So, be a good test for you guys week 4.
We'll see how it plays out.
All right, so I will. I know you don't want to talk about this next team, so
no.
I'll take over here.
Take it away.
The much maligned Philadelphia Eagles
deserve
11-6.
Some would say.
Some would say. Some are saying much maligned. 11-6, lost the NFC wildcard game to who did they lose to? Packer? Did they? Oh, the 49ers. Yeah,
yes.
49ers. Over-under I have for them is 10.5. Is that what you got?
Yes, let me pull that up. So it is 10.5, and the juice is on the under.
Yep.
Minus 140, by the way.
This is another one. Is it? I'm going to ask. Well, I know what your answer is going to be, but I'll put it this way. I think Brian Schottenheimer is the best coach in this division.
I think so. How do you feel? What about Harbaugh?
Well, this is what I'll say about Harbaugh. I need to see, because there's a reason after 15, 16 years, the Ravens were like, okay, John, we're good.
That's enough.
That's, like.
He did hire Matt Nagy, so that does show some decision making.
I mean,
Issues.
not a real Algonquin roundtable there. So the Eagles, speaking of offensive coordinators, the Eagles changed theirs again. Sean Mannion, former Oregon State quarterback, now running the offense there. They did, unfortunately, buddy. They brought in our favorite patron saint cowboy, Andy Dalton, is now the backup quarterback there in Philadelphia. Although, did he get hurt or something?
I don't remember seeing that, but
Maybe I misread somewhere. They also brought in Damian Pierce, former Texan, Marquise Hollywood Brown, Elijah Moore.
says Dalton is currently healthy.
Okay, maybe I just misread something. They did bring their big trade this offseason was Dontavian Wicks from the Packers, who apparently has looked pretty good in camp, for what that's worth. Looking at some other signings here, they did extend Jordan Davis. They signed AJ Epinesa from the Bills. Iowa Hawkeye legend, I do believe, AJ Epinesa. Jonathan Grenard from the Vikings. That was another trade for them. They signed Trang's favorite Seahawk, Tariq Woolen.
Yes.
Don't come. I'm just joking, Trang.
The boneheads will get along.
Right.
Him and Sirianni should fit together pretty well.
Yeah, they did lose Sam Howell, who's now. But that's a good move by the Cowboys to sign, get some intel.
Yeah, pick his brain a little bit.
Yep. They did. Obviously, they traded AJ Brown. We talked about that with the Patriots. They also lost Jalen Phillips, Nakobe Dean, Reed Blankenship. Sidney Brown was traded to the Falcons. In the draft, they drafted Mekhi Lemon, who apparently has not practiced much this training camp because he's injured. So that's a shame. They did draft the tight end from Vanderbilt, Eli Stowers, who's kind of had a little bit of buzz going in to the season. They did draft a quarterback, Cole Payton, another North Dakota State.
The
legend.
First one worked out so well for him.
Right, of course. And then they also, I think we mentioned this with the draft. They drafted the kid from, I believe it was Nigeria, Bernard.
The giant offensive guy.
Yeah, or no, defensive. He's
defensive line guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like genetic freak who's like 250, but he like runs a 4.4 or something like that. And yeah. He played. I saw a couple highlights from this past weekend. He played, and you could tell he's like, I mean, this is the first organized football game ever.
Very raw.
Yeah. First football game ever is an NFL preseason game. So got a little work to do. Their non-division schedule, Panthers, Bears, Steelers. So a little interstate matchup there with the Steelers coming up. They open up Washington at home, at Tennessee, at Chicago. Home Rams, fly to London, play the Jaguars, fly back, host the Panthers. Week 7, Monday Night Football, home Dallas. Sunday night at the Commanders, home Giants before their bye week. As you mentioned, they do have their Thanksgiving Day showdown with the Cowboys. I believe they played on Thanksgiving a couple years ago, right? Or was that Christmas? Did they have a Christmas game? Cowboys and Eagles, didn't they?
Yes, that was Christmas.
Here's their they close out with Week 15 home against Seattle. That's on a Saturday. Week 16 home against the Texans. That's on Christmas Eve. And then at the 49ers.
Maybe that'll be a nice Christmas present for me. Watching Jalen Hurts get torn limb from limb. Did you see the picture of Jalen Hurts with his mustache and somebody compared to him like to a jalapeno?
No.
I'm gonna have to go find that content. That's the content I'm getting on my feed.
I did see the Eagles posted a video today where it was like POV cam from Jalen Hurts' perspective
Mm-hmm.
in the huddle and like running the play. And somebody was like, "Please tell me they didn't have a play of him throwing an interception."
Oh, I thought it was going to be the tush push.
No,
Just-
it was like it ended up being a touchdown pass, but like it just I was like, please tell me they didn't do that. Okay. I'm gonna tread lightly with this question. I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked you for the AFC East. How many playoff teams from the NFC East this year? 1, 2? I have a feeling it's gonna be 1. That's my gut feeling.
I still think there's probably 2.
Well, and I was gonna say the 1 is I don't want to say who the 1 team is because I don't want to.
Well, we know it's the Cowboys, Paul. It's okay.
I don't want to jinx you, buddy. I don't want to jinx you. I think I did. I think I ended up doing what I did last year, which is I ended up with the Cowboys and Eagles with the same record. That way I could say, okay, well, the Eagles are going to.
Plausible deniability.
Exactly. So, all right. So that's the NFC East. Any other comments on the NFC East before we depart here?
I do not. I was looking at Claude's standings here.
So next week, while you're doing that, let me just tell the folks what we got next week. So we will go out west to wrap up the division previews. We'll have the AFC and NFC West. Probably the 2 more entertaining divisions, I'll say, in the NFL, if not the 2 best divisions. Obviously, the Super Bowl champions reside in the NFC West. Our good friend Trang's beloved Seahawks. A lot of things to talk about in the AFC West. Our buddy Donnie's Broncos, hoping to have a repeat of last season. Chiefs hoping to bounce back. Chargers.
Who knows?
Maybe. Who knows?
Their center might be dead, and they had 2 other players.
Well, and in both divisions, it's kind of similar to what we talked about this week. Each division has 3 good teams and 1 not as good team. So we'll see. We'll talk about them next week. So we'll do the Wests. We'll talk more preseason stuff. So the Cowboys are playing who they're playing this with? The Rams?
No, Arizona.
Oh, Saints are playing the Rams. That's what it is. Saints are playing the
Yeah.
Rams. Cowboys are playing Arizona. Cowboys and Saints week 3 of the preseason, however, coming up.
Hopefully there's less fights in that.
I mean, yeah, I hope. Look, guys, come on. Let's just. I get it. It's hot. Everybody's a little wound up. Let's be safe out there. But we'll talk about that. English Premier League. I'll talk hopefully about some Liverpool. Hopefully Liverpool gets a win this week against Newcastle. Everton. Who's Everton playing?
Everton is playing. I knew this Newcastle. It looks like.
No, I thought Liverpool.
Oh wait, no, that was friendly.
I was like, wait a minute.
Let's see. They open against Crystal Palace, the Ted Lasso team.
Oh. Real quick, baseball score. The Brewers beat the Mariners tonight, 22-0.
That's not going to help the old run differential.
No. Let's see. The Brewers scored 1 in the first, 5 in the fifth, 5 in the sixth, 2 in the seventh, 9 in the eighth. Yeesh. And how many hits? The Mariners got 5 hits and 4 errors for the Mariners. More errors than hits. That's not, or no, sorry, 1 less error than hit. That's not great.
Remember when the Mariners were like really close to going to the World Series?
Yeah, I do. Let's check the AL West standings real quick, just for yucks. Astros a game and a half up on the Rangers. Astros run differential minus 30.
It's only a game and a half?
That's what it says right here.
Oh,
Astros are 63 and 62. Rangers 62 and 64 is what I'm seeing.
this division is garbage. Everyone is bad.
It's bad. It's bad, buddy. Angels or the Astros just lost to the Angels. So that's not great.
If it makes you
Oh no,
feel
so
any-
no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The Astros are now 63 and 63 with this loss
Ooh.
to the Angels today. So
You know, I gave up the Rangers lost like 2 or 3 to the A's, and I was like, okay, it's time to pack it in. And now now they're only a game. They are a game back.
the Astros at the end of this month will play the Yankees for 3, and then play the Mets for 3. So
The Astros currently have the best run differential in the division at minus 32.
minus 32. Whew. Buddy, it's rough. But hey, Yordan Alvarez is still on the Triple Crown path, so that's something to look forward to, I guess. But yeah, so we'll see where everything lays with the AL West next week. We'll talk NFC West, AFC West, preseason football, English, European football. Try to watch some more championship too. I'll try to watch Southampton and West Ham if I can get a chance. Obviously, try to watch some Liverpool as well. Shout out to the Reds this weekend. I guess when Liverpool plays Everton, we'll have to be mano a baldo.
Yeah, maybe we can figure something out to watch that game if it's at a reasonable time.
I mean, yeah, if it's not at 6 a.m. or something like that. All right. Well, hope everybody has a good week. Brandon, anything else before we sign off here?
Cowboy Super Bowl.
Sure, why not? Happy delusional preseason, everybody.
There we go, baby.